The year was 1920, a time of great change and new beginnings. America, still recovering from a world war, was in search of new forms of entertainment and unity. The nation sought solace in simple pleasures, from family picnics to local carnivals. In Canton, Ohio, a group of visionary men gathered, not for war, but for a different kind of battle. They were forming the American Professional Football Association, later renamed the National Football League, or NFL, a league that would change sports forever. The game was rough, the rules were loose, and few could have predicted the cultural juggernaut it would become in the decades to follow. These early pioneers were driven by passion, not profit, playing for the love of the game. Teams like the Akron Pros, Buffalo All-Americans, and Decatur Staleys, who would later become the Chicago Bears, barnstormed across the Midwest, bringing football to small towns. Small towns rallied behind their teams, finding excitement and camaraderie in the fledgling league, creating a sense of community. The NFL's early years were marked by instability and uncertainty. Teams folded, rules changed, and the very survival of the league was in question, but the spirit of the game endured. But amidst the chaos, a spirit of innovation and determination emerged, pushing the game forward. The forward pass, a revolutionary concept, was introduced, adding a new layer of excitement and strategy to the game. Slowly, a sport once considered a regional curiosity began to capture the imagination of a nation, laying the foundation for the NFL we know today. The 1920s and 30s were a time of growth and struggle for the NFL. The Great Depression cast a long shadow, threatening the league's very existence. Economic hardships were felt across the country, and the NFL was no exception. Teams folded, players struggled, and the future seemed uncertain. The league faced an uphill battle to survive in such a challenging environment, yet from this crucible emerged figures who would shape the NFL's destiny. These pioneers had the vision and determination to see the league through its darkest days. One such figure was George Halas, owner and coach of the Chicago Bears. Halas was more than just a coach. He was a visionary who saw the potential of professional football. A visionary leader, Halas understood the importance of marketing, showmanship, and creating rivalries. He knew that to capture the public's imagination, the NFL needed to be more than just a game. He signed Red Grange, a college football superstar, transforming the league's image and attracting a wider audience. This move brought unprecedented attention to the NFL. Halas also recognized the need for standardized rules. Consistency in gameplay was crucial for the league's credibility and growth. He championed innovations like the forward pass and the point after touchdown, making the game more exciting for fans. These changes helped to modernize the sport. His efforts, along with those of other league pioneers, helped stabilize the NFL during a turbulent era. Their leadership was instrumental in navigating the league through these tough times. The league expanded cautiously, adding teams in major cities like New York, Washington, and Cleveland. This strategic growth helped to build a broader fan base. Rivalries, often fueled by geographic proximity, began to develop, capturing the imagination of fans. These rivalries added a new layer of excitement to the games. The NFL, though still far from the cultural force it would become, was slowly establishing roots that would run deep into the American consciousness. The foundation was being laid for future success. By the mid-20th century, the NFL was gaining momentum, but it was the 1958 NFL championship game that would forever alter its trajectory. Played between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Colts, the game was a back-and-forth thriller that went into sudden death overtime. Broadcast nationally on television for the first time, the game captivated millions of viewers. The image of Colts fullback Alan Amici plunging into the end zone for the winning touchdown became an iconic moment in sports history. The 1958 championship game transcended sport. It became a cultural event. Newspapers splashed dramatic photos across their front pages. Water cooler talk the next day revolved around the game's dramatic finish. The NFL, once a niche interest, had captured the attention of the nation. This newfound exposure was a watershed moment. The NFL realized the power of television to reach a mass audience. It also demonstrated the public's appetite for a sport that combined strategy, athleticism, and raw emotion. The stage was set for the NFL's transformation into a cultural phenomenon. Building on the success of the 1958 championship, the NFL continued to grow in popularity throughout the 1960s. Then, in 1967, the league merged with its rival, the American Football League, creating a football powerhouse. This merger led to the creation of the Super Bowl, a championship game between the NFL and AFL champions. The first Super Bowl, held in 1967, was a modest affair compared to the spectacle it would become. Yet, it signaled the dawn of a new era for professional football. The Super Bowl quickly evolved into more than just a game. It became an unofficial national holiday. The game itself, featuring the league's best teams, was always a compelling watch. But the halftime shows featuring musical superstars and the commercials, often mini-movies in their own right, added to the event's allure. The Super Bowl became a shared cultural experience, a time for families and friends to gather and celebrate. It transcended sport, becoming a showcase for American entertainment, advertising, and national pride. The NFL's journey is inseparable from the legendary figures who grace the gridiron, each leaving an indelible mark on the sport. Players like Jim Brown, with his unparalleled combination of power and speed, redefined the running back position, setting new standards for future generations. Johnny Unitas, the stoic quarterback with the golden arm, became synonymous with leadership and clutch performances, inspiring countless young athletes. The 1970s saw the emergence of Terry Bradshaw, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback who led his team to 4 Super Bowl victories in 6 years, showcasing his incredible talent and determination. His rivalry with the Oakland Raiders, led by the flamboyant John Madden, defined an era and captivated fans across the country, adding a new dimension to the sport. The modern era ushered in new icons, each bringing their unique flair and skill to the game. Joe Montana, with his ice-cold demeanor in the biggest moments, led the San Francisco 49ers to 4 Super Bowl titles, cementing his place in NFL lore as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Jerry Rice, his teammate and arguably the greatest wide receiver of all time, redefined the art of catching a football, setting records that still stand today. These legends and countless others transcended sport, becoming cultural icons whose influence extended beyond the field. Their stories of triumph, perseverance, and athletic brilliance resonated with fans, further solidifying the NFL's place in the fabric of American life, inspiring future generations to dream big. The NFL's impact extends far beyond the confines of the stadium. It has become a cultural touchstone, shaping fashion, language, and even social discourse. On game day, millions don their favorite team's jerseys, transforming themselves into walking billboards of team pride. The league's influence can be seen in popular culture as well. Movies like Rudy and Remember the Titans have used football as a backdrop to explore themes of teamwork, perseverance, and the human spirit. Television shows, from sitcoms to dramas, regularly feature storylines and characters connected to the NFL. The NFL has also grappled with social issues, sparking national conversations about race, gender equality, and the long-term impact of head injuries. Its platform has amplified the voices of athletes who use their influence to advocate for social justice and inspire change. From its humble beginnings in a Canton, Ohio auto dealership to its status as a global entertainment behemoth, the NFL's story is one of improbable growth and enduring appeal. The league has faced challenges from labor disputes to controversies, but its popularity has only continued to soar. What accounts for this enduring appeal? Perhaps it's the sport itself, a unique blend of athleticism, strategy, and raw emotion. Perhaps it's the shared experience of game day, a time for communities to come together and celebrate. Or perhaps it's the human drama that unfolds on the field, a tapestry of triumph, heartbreak, and the pursuit of excellence. Whatever the reason, the NFL has become woven into the fabric of American life. It is a source of entertainment, a catalyst for national conversations, and a mirror reflecting the evolving values and aspirations of a nation. As the league looks to the future, one thing is certain: the passion for the game, passed down from generation to generation, will continue to fuel its growth and ensure its lasting legacy.